Hey, what's going on guys, Synatiq here, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to get the most FPS possible inside Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have the latest version of Windows. You can do that by going onto your start menu at the bottom left, settings, and update and security. And you want to make sure you have the latest update available. Once you have the latest update, you want to make sure you restart your machine and come back to this video. Next, what you want to do is scroll down to the description below to where you see two links, AMD drivers or Nvidia drivers. You download the one corresponding to your system. If you have Nvidia GPU, you download the Nvidia drivers. Same goes for the AMD one. Next, you want to download WinRAR. The link for this will be in the description below as well. And finally, you want to download my Call of Duty Warzone FPS pack. Once you downloaded that, make sure it's saved onto your desktop. And we can continue on with this tutorial. Now what you want to do is you want to right click the folder, document, whatever, and extract here. You'll only get this option if you download a WinRAR. And what you want to do is double click the folder after it's extracted. Now what you want to do is head on into the priority fix folder. And this will change the priority of your Warzone. Normally, I think it runs on high priority, but usually it runs better on normal priority. So you just want to click the Warzone normal priority.reg and press yes if it asks you to make changes to this device. Yes. Okay, and now that should be done. Next, what you want to do is head on into the documents on the side and go into Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and go into players, and then go into the advanced options .ini. Double click it, and what you want to do is set the video memory scale to 1, and what you want to do is for the render work count, you just want to right click and go into task manager at the bottom and go into performance. And where it says CPU, you just want to find how much logical processors you have and minus that by 1. So I have 4 logical processors, so what I'm going to do is put in 3 in my render count. The default settings might be better, but just experiment with this option. So just take note of the default settings, which I think the video memory scale was 0.85, and for my render work count is 2. Then you just want to click file, save, and exit out of there. Alright, for the next step you have to launch up Warzone, but before we do that, this bit is for Nvidia users only. What we're going to do is right click our desktop and go to Nvidia control panel. After it has launched up, you just want to go into adjust image settings with preview, and you want to make sure it's on use the advanced 3D image settings and apply. Next, what I want to do is go into manage 3D settings and scroll down to where it says power management mode. This is very important, you want to put this on prefer maximum performance. And for the OpenGL rendering GPU, you want to set it to your GPU, of course. And one more thing, for vertical sync, this is really up to you. If you use vertical sync for some games, just put it on, use the 3D application settings, but if you don't use it, just put it on off. After you've done that, you just want to apply it and proceed on to the next step, which is to launch Warzone and get in the game so we can change the in-game settings. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is go into your options as soon as you're in Warzone. You want to go into graphics options, and what you want to do is set your display mode to full screen. This gives you the least amount of input lag and the most FPS you can get. Put your display monitor to your monitor and display adapter to your GPU. Screen refresh rate, set it to the first one that comes up. And for render resolution, for medium to high end systems, I recommend 100, as you can probably handle 100. For low end systems to medium end, it's really up to you. I'd recommend at least 90, or then the game looks really bad. 95, 97, all those are alright. If you go to advanced, you can change your display resolution, but I'll just keep it at the native 1920 by 1080. For aspect ratio, you can leave it automatic unless you know your aspect ratio. For most of you watching this video, it's probably going to be 16 by 9, but just keep it on automatic. Sync every frame, VSync, you want to keep that disabled. This gives you more input lag. Custom frame rate, you want to set this on custom, and for gameplay custom frame rate limit, you want to set this to your monitor's refresh rate if you want the smoothest experience. If you want the most FPS you can possibly get, you can just put this to 300 unlimited, but for me, I'm gonna keep this at 75. For menu custom frame rate limit, you just want to keep this at your monitor's refresh rate no matter what, because you won't need more FPS in menus. Out of focus frame rate limit, just keep it at 30 because it's not going to be using as much power. For Nvidia highlights, you want this disabled at all times. This gives you more lag. And for restart shared installation, you only want to click this when you think it's best to, or when you update your drivers. This can help sometimes, but for most of the times it really doesn't help as much. For display gamma, you want to just keep this at 2.2 sRGB unless you have a 2.4 screen. For texture resolution, depending on your graphics card, if you have 4GB, then you should be able to do high, but if you want to get the most FPS, just keep this at normal. Texture, filter, anisotropic, you want to just keep this at normal unless your PC can do high. Particle quality, you can do this at low, but high doesn't do much difference unless you have a really low machine. Just keep this at low. Bullet impacts and sprays, this is really up to you. I like to keep this on so I can, for gameplay reasons. Tessellation, you always want this at near or off. I just keep this at off so I can get the most FPS. Shadow map resolution, you never want to go above high, but low is probably recommended because you get the most FPS again. Cache spot shadows and cache sun shadows, you want this enabled. This gives you more FPS, but it may use more RAM. Just put this on enable, this really helps a lot. Particle lighting, low, you won't need that. Ambient occlusion, disabled. DirectX ray tracing, you want to just disable it, it gives you less FPS entirely if you have that option. Screen space reflection, disabled. Anti-aliasing off, or SMA1X or Filmic SMA2X. This is really up to you. If you want the most FPS, just keep it off. Depth of field, we want this off all the time unless you're a content creator and you want good visuals. Filmic strength, this depends. If you have anti-aliasing off, I'd recommend just put it on 0, but if you have it on 1, should be alright. Bold motion blur, you want this off. Weapon motion blur, you want this off as well. And film grain, it's up to you really, it doesn't affect you that much. Just apply the settings and go into the general tab. Now for field of view, this is very weird because in this game it gives you more FPS, but in other games it should give you lower FPS. You can experiment with this, but it's up to you. For me, I like to keep it at 104. Brightness, keep this at whatever you want, just keep it on 50 if you want. And skip introductive movie, this is the thing that you see when you launch the game, like the Activision logo and everything. I like this disabled because I don't like seeing that. Well, I like this enabled because I don't like seeing that a lot. Subtitles, up to you, I keep it on. In map shape, square gives you more, you can see the map more. And that's pretty much it. You can enable FPS counter and server latency and packet loss, so you can see what's going on with your computer. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the graphics settings inside of Warzone. Make sure you apply, and yeah, you can just head back to your desktop for the next step. Alright, so once you're back onto your desktop, what you want to do is head on down to the start menu again and search up control panel. Press enter, go on system and security, system, and then go into advanced system settings, and then where it says performance, go on settings. And now this is really up to you. If you want a decent looking Windows, I would recommend keeping it on let Windows choose what's best for my computer. But if you want the best performance, highlight the box that says adjust for best performance. This is up to you really. And then you just want to press apply and OK. Now what you want to do, you want to head back into the performance tab, but this time go into advanced, and where it says virtual memory, go into change. Now you want to uncheck the box that says automatically manage paging file size for all drives, and if you have an SSD or a HDD that has no games on it, just your operating system. You just want to click on it and then press no paging file, set, and then after that you just want to put it to system manage size and then set. For any other drives that has games on it, you just want to click on the drive here and put it to no paging file and set it. Press OK, and you can exit out of everything. It may ask you to restart. You just don't want to restart right now. We're going to restart at the end of the tutorial. Now what you want to do is go back down to the start menu and search up msconfig. Press enter, and it may the window will look like this. Go into boot, advanced options, and where it says number of processors, you want to set this to the highest value. For me it's 4. Press OK, and I like to have no GUI boot on. And for timeout in seconds, what you want to do is, if you have a low end machine, set this to 5. If you have a high end machine, set this to 3. This basically lowers the time it takes for you to get to your desktop and load up your machine. After you've done that, you just want to press apply, OK, and it may ask you to restart. Just exit without restart. Now what we're going to do is we're going to enable the ultimate performance power plan. We can do this by going back into my FPS pack and going into the ultimate performance power plan.txt. What you want to do is you want to highlight this, right click and copy, and then you can exit out of that. What you want to do is go into your start at the bottom left, right click and Windows PowerShell admin. Press yes if you want, just press yes. And now it's going to come up with something like this. What you want to do is that you just want to right click and it should paste it in, and then press enter, and it should enable the ultimate performance power plan. You can exit out of that. I already have it enabled. The way you can enable it properly is by going into your search menu and searching up power plan. Press enter, and you can set this to whatever you want, and you just want to go into power options at the top, and where it says preferred plans, you might not see it there. It might be in additional plans. You just want to set it to the ultimate performance one, and you can exit out of that. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the FPS pack and double click the quick CPU.msi launcher, and you want to just install this onto your machine. I already have it installed, so I'm just going to click repair, and there's nothing to repair. Press finish after it's installed, and it should boot up right now. If it doesn't boot up, you can just go into your start menu and you can probably see recently added quick CPU. Click on it, yes, and it should launch up with something similar to this box right here. Once it has loaded up, what you want to do is you want to select the system power plan, set it to the ultimate performance one since you already selected that one. What you want to do is put the core parking index to 100, turbo boost index to 100, and frequency scaling index to 100. This basically allows your CPU to use, it allows your computer to use the full amount of your CPU. It can increase performance at times, and yeah, it helps out with your computer. What you want to do is press apply, press OK, and you can press close here. Alright, now what we're going to do is head on back into the FPS pack and go into memory.exe, double click it, press yes, next, I agree, next. You can create shortcuts if you want, install, next, and make sure run memory.exe is on. Press finish. You can update if you want, but I'm not going to do it right now. So what you can do, just press clean memory, yes, and it should clean up your memory just a bit. This helps with Call of Duty Warzone as the game uses a lot of RAM. And yeah, alright, the last two steps we're going to do is we're going to go back into the FPS pack, and there's still one more folder called ISLC. Double click it, and you want to double click the IntelliJet standby cleaner. I already have this open, so I'm just going to go into my tabs and double click it. You might see something similar to this. What you want to do, if it's already started, you just want to press stop. And yeah, for this, the list size is at least, you want to make sure it's at 1024 or 1024. And for free memory lower than, it's basically half of your total system memory up here. I'll have on screen what you should have for each type of system memory. If you have 8, 16, 4, you can just put that in. For me, I know that 8 is 4096 as I have it already in. You can have start ISLC minimize and auto start monitoring. So basically starts when your PC runs up, but I don't have this on. For wanted timer resolution, just put it to 0.5 and press delete, and it should be 0.50. Make sure you enable custom timer resolution and put polling rate at 500 if you have a pretty decent machine. If you have a really low end machine, just put it at 1000, but 500 should be the best for all of you. Now what you want to do is press purge standby list and then press start, and you can minimize that. Finally, what we're going to do is clean up some files in our Windows. So we're going to press Windows key and R at the same time, and then search up %temp and press OK or enter. Now this is where all your temporary files get saved. There's a lot in here. I remember cleaning this up the other day because it was my first time doing it, and I had this machine for like 6 months now, and it had like 20 gigabytes, which I was shocked. What you can do to check how much gigabytes are in this folder is go and right click properties, and you go back onto the top and click local. For me it has 22 gigabytes in there still. You can just don't delete the folder, just go in here, right click, and no, don't right click, press Ctrl and A at the same time, and you can right click and delete it. Press yes, it's going to permanently delete them. Don't worry, this doesn't harm your computer at all, frees up space. Some of them are in use. If it says this, just check the box that says do all this for all current items, press skip, because these are the ones that's actually getting used. And yeah, that's basically it for my Call of Duty Warzone FPS guide. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This is me editing one day later, and this took me so long to edit. So if you could leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.